Hey, let's take another look at one of the most highly regarded 3D cameras of our era, the Fuji W3. This little machine has been used by many a stereographer in the digital 3D era, largely because of its balance of quality with convenience. Sure, you can make a much higher quality still camera rig uh, with DSLR cameras, but you just can't top the convenience factor of having this one small pocket camera plus the ease of post-production. So anyway, the lens cover slides down like this. Hear that tone? There we go. And it's got that big, juicy, glasses-free, beautiful 3D screen on the back. I did a review of the W3 before in another season, but it focused mostly on the camera functions and also some other tips like how to achieve a more narrow interaxial using the optical zoom. But this time let's actually take a look at some test footage and stills from it. One of the few upgrades from this model over its predecessor, the W1, not sure what happened to the W2. Anyway, one of the upgrades was the video. Uh, the W1 shot standard definition video in 4:3 ratio. The W3 shoots 720p video in 16:9 ratio, which of course is much better for 3D TV, having the right aspect ratio, widescreen format. Another interesting thing to note is that it films at 24p, which is not all that common. Most cameras, especially at that time, recorded at 30 frames a second. And it's also an unusual file format. It's a AVI, but you get twin full resolution streams, and it is recognized automatically by most 3D video editing software. So here's the catch. While it is much better to have this widescreen aspect ratio footage, unfortunately, while it's 720p on paper, if you take a look at the following test footage, some in full daylight and some as the sun is going down, you'll see that it looks more like standard definition. I've seen 720p that looks a lot better than this, but anyway, it's better than the W1.
I say, I ain't shot the sheriff. I swear it was in self-defense. I ain't shot the sheriff. They say he's a capital offense. It's all over. That's what told you.
So, of course, there is no way you're going to use this for serious video work. I wouldn't even use it for uh, personal memories, honestly. I mean, it might work for some people, but the one saving grace of that is that it does have that super wide interaxial, so you can get some good depth with it, even if the resolution isn't all that great. And it also doesn't have video stabilization, so you'll always get those little tremors when you're doing a handheld video, unless you have a tripod. The still photo aspect is where this camera is much more useful. It takes pretty good still photos that are almost Ultra HD, almost 8 megapixels, because it has a 10 megapixel sensor, but of course that's in a full frame mode, so a square picture. But when it's cropped to 16:9, such as for a 3D TV, which is what obviously you would be watching it on most of the time. It's about 7 point something megapixels, so just shy of 4K. And you can see it's not quite as sharp as the red hydrogen one is. That takes true 4K 3D pictures. So the red hydrogen one does have a better quality of pictures and videos, but there's a couple areas where the Fuji W3 is better. The difference in the interaxials is enormous, uh, much, much bigger on the W3. So while with the red hydrogen one, you can take some nice close-up shots, shots of portraits, shots of people, definitely some powerful close-up shots. Um, Stuff that you could never get with the W3 because it was just too wide to even resolve in your brain. On the other hand, just shots more than a little bit farther away are almost flat on the red hydrogen one, but with this you can get solid depth on a lot of other shots. So this is very useful, and it has a real flash, not the LED light of the red hydrogen one or any phone for that matter. This has a real deal flash. So yeah, if still photos are your aim, uh, then W3 is definitely a great device to get. I'll see you next time.